Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us this morning for our Lifer Student Roundtable. My name is Katie Cullinane. I'm the Director of Admission and Financial Aid, and I have an all-star group of upper school students here with us this morning, all who are excited to share their Sacred Heart journey with you and how their time here at Sacred Heart has helped shape them and help them reach their goals. A lifer at Sacred Heart is a student who started in the Barra Center, kindergarten or first grade, and they have gone through their journey and learned so much along the way. Anybody out there in the audience, we want to take your questions, make sure they're answered. You can feel free to put your questions in the chat or raise your hand and I can allow you to speak. But I think we'll just jump right in, and I'm going to have the girls introduce themselves. So let's start. Laura, do you want to start?
Hello, I'm Laura O'Connor. I started in preschool and I'm a sophomore currently.
Great. Robin?
Hi, I'm Robin. I started in preschool and I'm currently in 10th grade.
All righty. And Beth?
Hi, I'm Beth. I'm a senior and I started in kindergarten.
All right. Lily, you want to go next?
Hi, I'm Lily. I'm a senior and I started in pre-K.
And Erin?
Hi, I'm Erin. I'm a junior and I started in pre-K.
And last but not least, Zoe.
Hi, I'm Zoe. I'm a junior and I started in first grade.
Thank you, girls, for coming this morning. And I thought we'd start just if you could describe what the Sacred Heart community is like when you come to school here every day, whether it's, you know, a memory you have from lower school or what you're experiencing now in upper school. But how would you describe our Sacred Heart community?
Well, I definitely think that Sacred Heart's community is really unique in a way that we are kind of one big family. I know that kind of sounds cheesy, but it's really true that like everyone here is always like happiest. I think something that really stands out to me is like on the first day of school, there's a welcome home sign. And I think I can speak for everyone here when we say that like Sacred Heart is a second home to us. And I think the community here is just so special. And I mean, we've all been going here for so long that in a way you can really see, especially in the high school, how much like everyone is friends with each other and everyone would do anything for each other, no matter even what grade you're in. So I think that's really interesting.
Yeah, I agree with Erin. I think every single day I come to school, I'm so excited to be here. It doesn't matter like how busy my day is or how stressful it is. I've never dreaded coming to school like even once. And even like when I was sick, like pre-corona, obviously, I wanted to come to school even if I wasn't feeling well. So I think that just kind of shows like what an amazing like environment it is and like how like supportive and how close we all are.
Awesome.
Kind of adding on to Erin, it definitely is a second home. And I know I can speak for all the lifers when we say that, because like the very first year I came here, I was greeted with such open arms and friendly faces, and you could really feel like the warmness to Sacred Heart, which is really special.
Awesome. So girls, you guys all know the goals and criteria and the strength of the mission of a Sacred Heart education. How do you think the goals and the mission impact this community?
I think the goals really just kind of help us live our life as like a Sacred Heart student. And I know definitely in the middle school, the goals were really emphasized, and there was even an award given if like you followed a goal. And I think they just, remind you how you want to live your life as a Sacred Heart student. And I think we will take this on, like all the goals we'll remember forever. And like even when we graduate, we will like remember the goals and how it's shaped us in a way, and how we live our lives every day. They just really help us.
Anybody else have anything to share about the goals and sort of how they're intertwined into our day-to-day life here at Sacred Heart?
Well, just building off what Erin said, I think in the middle school, they definitely are emphasized, like going into fifth grade, you have to like learn every single goal because they are so central to like how we like live and how we like learn as Sacred Heart students. And I think the teachers also really emphasize them and like live them out, which is why like as students, like we also like begin to incorporate them into our lives because it's so clear to us that they're very important. Like there's even, I know like in 5th and 6th grade, you're like asked to kind of relate some of like even like characters like in novels and things like that, and like how are they living out the goals, because the goals aren't just things that are important at Sacred Heart, but they're things that are important as like global citizens. So to Aaron's point, like they do become like things that are so central to like the way we live our lives.
Awesome. Now, what about all girls? So you guys have been in an all girl environment your whole life. What have you loved about that?
Yeah, I honestly really love it because, like, as an all girls school, we're able to sort of focus on like us as like becoming young women, and like in classes we have many projects about like women in history or like writing papers about like us as women, and it's really like helped us focus on ourselves and how we can like contribute to the world later on.
Awesome.
I think all girls, like, I've noticed people aren't afraid to raise their hands. People aren't afraid to speak up. I think it creates this environment where people feel very comfortable being themselves and like aren't afraid to make mistakes. And I think it really helps their learning experience.
And do you think that happened when did you guys realize that when you were in kindergarten and 1st grade that you were in this environment where everybody was raising their hands and helping one another and encouraging each other along the way? Do you think even as a young little learner that impacted you?
I think definitely like you could notice like even from a young age, like all of us, we were eager to learn and we weren't afraid to, go like take a step out of our like boundaries and like put ourselves out there. And we weren't like afraid to do anything. We were all comfortable with each other and ourselves, even from a young age because of the all girl environment.
Yeah.
Adding on to Laura, I feel like Sacred Heart really enhances the idea of girl power and how like important it is. And yeah, definitely from a young age, I, saw everyone like wanting to help each other out, and no one really was hesitant to like do something good or, because of something that was holding them back. And I feel like like the all girl environment, I mean, we're all so used to it, and we don't know anything different. I'm like happy like that way because of how special and unique it is. I think it's just helped us all shape us into the people that we are today, which I think is really important.
Awesome. So if you think about your Sacred Heart experience, what's something that you've stretched yourself to become a part of, whether it's in a classroom or an extracurricular that maybe you wouldn't have been exposed to or given it a shot if you weren't here at Sacred Heart?
Well, so I am a field hockey player, and I actually started playing field hockey because of Sacred Heart. And it worked out for me. I'm now like committed to play at Princeton University next year. And I was exposed to field hockey because of Sacred Heart and because of like middle school sports. So that's definitely for me something that like really broadened my horizons and like became a huge part of who I am. And it was because of Sacred Heart, and like because they do expose us to so many different things and really encourage us to explore like different interests and become like unique individuals.
Kind of adding on to what Beth was saying, Sacred Heart really encourages us to step out of our comfort zones and try things that we wouldn't normally do, and to really embrace like change and new things. And they help us to discover our passions and teach us that when we do discover our passions, to pursue them and not to be afraid of doing so. Like I'm a really big into the arts program, like in the drama curriculum here at Sacred Heart. So I do the musicals every year, and each year, like the musical season is the one thing that I look forward to because it's just so fun. We all come together to do what we love and create something super special for everyone to see. And I think that's really special and great.
Awesome, Zoe.
Yeah. Adding on to both Beth and Zoe, I've, played sports my whole life, and I actually, like Beth, I tried field hockey freshman year here at Sacred Heart. But also, as someone who has no musical talent whatsoever, I still tried the musical, and I loved it so much in middle school and in fourth grade. I loved it. My friends and I just loved being on stage, and so I got to experience both. Like, even though I wasn't necessarily the best at singing or acting, I definitely just had so much fun with it because all of my friends were there, and like we all just like got to sing along and dance. And same with sports. You get to have like both. You can try everything. So I just really had a great time, and I think that also shows how amazing Sacred Heart is, and that you have no limits. You can do whatever you want to do, and you can try whatever you want to try. So I think it's really interesting there.
Awesome. What about academically? Anything academically that you guys feel like you've been stretched, whether it's a subject matter or something that, a relationship you've built with a teacher that sort of pushed you to dive in a little deeper?
So I started taking Chinese at Sacred Heart in kindergarten, and I've had amazing Chinese teachers the entire time I've been here, and I'm very interested in it now, and I actually want to major in it in college. And I've spent 3 summers doing immersion programs, and I definitely would not have done that if it hadn't been for Sacred Heart and for exposing me to the Chinese language and having such phenomenal teachers.
That's awesome, Lily. So let's shift gears a little bit and talk about the bonds and friendships you guys have with the other lifers in your grade. Some of you are in the same grade, but can you talk about the friendships that you've made along the way, and the friendships and bonds you have with the students that you started with, early on?
I know I can speak for like almost every lifer when I say that we truly have a special connection with like the lifers in our grade, because like we've known each other for a majority of our lives. We grew up together for like 12 to 15 years, which is insane to think about. Like we were there for each other. We like saw each other every day at school and move up to the next grade level every year. And I think that's something super special and that will always remain with us even after we graduate, because those were some of the most important years of our lives that will remain with us in our hearts forever. And yeah, it's like a sisterhood for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, I agree with Zoe. I just feel like the lifers with me, like we've just like grown up together and we're sort of just like sisters, I guess. But then it's also been really great, like when new girls come, like it's such a welcoming environment that like we're able to like sort of bring them into our community and become friends with them as well. And they're sort of like lifers with us, like because we become like friends later.
Yeah.
And I think like even everyone here, even though we're not in the same grade, like I've seen everyone's faces in the hallways, and we've known each other. And then for the people in my grade, Zoe and Robin both said it's a sisterhood, which I definitely agree with, because definitely have lived at some of my friends' houses for a long time. So, we just are so used to each other, and we are, we'll do anything for each other. Also not even just the lifers. I think everyone in our grade become, just a big family, and then not even in our grade as well. I think we really just define what a family can become and can be. And I think it's just so important, especially the lifer aspect, that I've just been seeing these people for like 10, 12 years, and I just could never get tired of seeing them because of like how amazing everyone is.
Awesome. And as lifers, what are your favorite Sacred Heart traditions?
So many. Zoe and I were just talking about this, but a conge, I have to say, is a favorite of mine. It's just, it's like one big surprise day of fun. And then another one that I think honestly is just like an amazing tradition is the Mlk service here at Sacred Heart. I love it's like the best day. I think everyone loves it because it's just so fun. Like the energy is always up there. So
Can you tell us a little bit about it, Erin?
Oh my goodness, yes. I got people's like autographs one year. So the Mlk service it's honoring Martin Luther King Jr. and all that he did. And it's a really important day. And then there's the gospel nights come and sing, and they just have such an amazing energy, and everyone's up dancing. And then the vision steppers are these a group of people that come in and they do this incredible dance. And then I think the seniors also get to go in and learn the dances as well, which is like so amazing. There's no one's sitting down, everyone's up, and it's just like such an amazing day to honor like such an important time in our history. And then also, you just get to have fun with it and all your friends are singing. And then, yeah, so I love that day.
And both of those traditions that Erin just talked about are all school. So it's our Barra Center students all the way up through 12th grade, which is really special too. Any other traditions that you guys can think about that you guys love? I know Kanje is always the hot topic, but.
I think one of the traditions that I love every year is Spirit Week, where we get to, have different themes for every day of the week, and you get to come in dressed up, and it's just a fun way to do something fun with your friends and while being in school. And I always love Spirit Week.
Awesome.
One of the traditions I love is GA games, because it doesn't matter like who is playing GA, like what sport it is. Everybody is so excited for it, and there's usually like a lot of students go to cheer on your friends and like all the girls on the team. And I think one of the reasons it's so special is because it just shows our love for the school and like how close we are as a community. I've gone to games where I don't even know anybody that's really playing, but I just love the school so much and I want to support them, and I think it shows how close we all are.
Awesome. So Beth and Lily, you guys are ending your road here, even though once a Sacred Heart girl, always a Sacred Heart girl. But how do you think your experience has prepared you for the next step, college? And it sounds like both of you have, Lily, you want to study Chinese, and Beth, you're going to play field hockey. But how do you think your Sacred Heart journey has set you up for success as you leave our hallways?
Well, I mean, obviously there's a lot of ways in which Sacred Heart has helped me beyond field hockey. I think just the way that I've been taught throughout the years has really set me up for success for college, because I think starting in the middle school, they really emphasize critical thinking and public speaking skills. And there's a lot all of my classes this year are hardness based except for math. And that transition started to happen in 8th grade. So it's they really emphasize not just factual recall, but really trying to understand what you believe and questioning and trying to become your own independent thinker. And I think that's really important for college, because you need to learn how what interests you and how you think and how you view the world. And so I think that has really set me up for college. I think also from 1st and 2nd grade, they really emphasize writing. We write a lot. We write every single day. And even now I've gotten to the point where they expect us to write a couple of well-written paragraphs in one class period. And I think that has made me really confident and prepared me for college, because I feel confident as a public speaker and also as a writer.
Awesome.
I feel like Sacred Heart is people to be self-advocates. I know they're really big on, if you need help, go to the teacher, and kind of learning how to advocate for yourself. So that's a skill that not only do our school has great academics and we have a great writing program, as Beth was talking about, but also that's a skill that will carry on through life, not even just college. So I feel the fact that I know how to advocate for myself and know to go to the teacher when I need help is something that's really going to help me.
Yeah, and building off what Lily was saying, I remember in 6th grade, she talked about advocating for yourself. In 6th grade, I remember they sat us down and taught us how to write an email to a teacher. And so I think that just kind of shows from a young age, they were encouraging us to go and talk to the teacher if you don't understand something, and advocate and communicate for yourself. Don't rely on your parents. And I think they really do try to encourage you to be your own person.
Love that. Awesome. So just to wrap up, girls, I'm wondering if each of you could share a special Sacred Heart memory, or even just why you think students should come to Sacred Heart and experience life in lower school, middle school, and the upper school.
Yeah, so I feel since they're very small classes, like teachers are very like sort of personalized to you, and they're able to like know each girl. And like sort of like this is a very early memory actually, from like I think like preschool or pre-K, where I had like drawn this like painting before, and a teacher had like noticed it and sort of like she like praised me and then had like given me special paper to like put as a frame for my picture. And that's just like a really small memory that may seem irrelevant, but it's just something that I always remember, and how like the teachers always just try to like notice you and like they want the best for you. Yeah.
I love that, Robin, because I feel like students who are known are going to excel and challenge themselves. And I love that that's your memory from preschool. It's great. Any other memories or tidbits anybody wants to share?
I have one that I just remember. I mean, there's so many memories that I could choose from, but one of them happens to be in fourth grade. And Zoe also, it's like in fourth grade, it's like this big thing where you get to do the celebration of the arts, which is this like big play that everyone gets to perform. It's really big. And so my friend and I got cast as Timon and Pumbaa from The Lion King. And I remember we were working so hard on our like little piece that we had, like a few lines, and then we, you know, performed it in front of everyone. And then I so remember the next day at school, like little girls were re-performing our like little segment that we had. And I remember my friend and I were like, oh my goodness, like we did good, you know, like we did well. And so I just remember like how much fun we had there. And I, you know, it was such a highlight for me, and I still remember it even though it was like 10 years ago. And yeah, so I think that just shows how much fun Sacred Heart is, and how, you know, the teachers worked with us and just wanted us to have a great time. And yeah, I love that. So
yeah, and how, Erin, you were a leader straight off the bat. I mean, if the younger girls were looking up to you and, you know, they wanted to perform their Lion King after watching you and your friend, it's awesome. And I think that's one thing that Sacred Heart does so well, is it encourages everybody to be leaders from the get-go. You know, whether you're a 5-year-old in kindergarten and helping out a friend, or you're in fourth grade and you know, helping the kindergarten girls, or now that you guys are in upper school, and how you interact with the lower school and middle school girls, and even just the freshmen that have come in. And I think that those leadership skills are so important. And, you know, they are built along the way from the second you enter as a 3-year-old or a 5-year-old or a 10-year-old. So awesome. Anybody else? Any memories? Go ahead, Lily.
Well, this is from like a week ago, but I just think it's worth mentioning. The entire senior class put on Just Dance. Oh, can you hear? Oh. The entire senior class put on Just Dance. And we were all just like dancing in the core center together. And so I think it just shows that we're so close knit, and we all just like love being around each other. And it's just a really fun environment to learn.
I love that. I'm a believer. I always say happiness and success go hand in hand. And I feel like all of you and all of your fellow students are happy to come to school every day, just like Beth said at the beginning. And so it makes for a really fun, engaging learning environment, and where people can feel like everyone here feels very at home and very comfortable to be themselves. So that's awesome. Well, thank you, girls. I can't thank you enough for taking time out of your class schedule, for sharing your experiences with us today. I think it's clear that the foundation that's set in lower school helps our girls to become confident learners and thinkers. They're engaged in their school life. They love their school. They have such pride for Sacred Heart, and the relationships that they've built along the way with their faculty and classmates has really empowered them to make a difference, you know, here at in our community or in the world. But I want to thank everybody for coming today. Thank you, girls. We look forward to celebrating your liferness, you know, Lily and Beth, as you guys graduate this year, and the rest of you as you go along. But thanks again, and have a great day, everybody. See you
Thank
later.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Bye,
you.
girls.